Happy holidays from KTLA 5.
Investigating reports of a possible tornado that caused damage in Boyle Heights on Christmas Day. And good afternoon. This is the KTLA 5 News at 4 o'clock. I'm Mary Beth McDade.
And I'm Lindsay Pena. Samantha and John have the day off. The neighborhood east of downtown LA is picking up the pieces after powerful winds damaged roofs, shattered windows, and sent Christmas decorations flying.
KTLA's Alina Abovian is live from Boyle Heights with the latest on the investigation. Alina, what do they know about this possible tornado tonight?
Hi there, guys. Well, this happened yesterday on Christmas Day, and the National Weather Service today sent someone out to gather evidence to determine if this was, in fact, a tornado. But you can see whatever this was, it certainly left a lot of damage. Take a look. And just like that, a small possible tornado is caught on surveillance video hitting a small shopping center in Boyle Heights on Whittier and Lorena, damaging signs, breaking off tree branches, wind gusts spinning debris in the air. It's possible the tornado started at the shopping center, then traveled to the 3000 block of Lee Street a few blocks away.
It was really dirty right here. Like I said, it's nothing, thank God, nothing really happened here.
This Boyle Heights resident didn't want to go on camera, but says whatever came through her neighborhood certainly left a mess. Her neighbor across the street sustaining some damage to the roof as the shingles went flying.
It was pushing, the force of the wind was just pushing. It would push her.
Also telling us another neighbor ran inside but couldn't close the door because of the strong winds. The National Weather Service has yet to confirm if this was in fact a tornado, which is rare in Southern California, but not unheard of during severe weather. Now, if the National Weather Service does confirm that this was, in fact, a tornado, it will be the first on record within the city limits of Los Angeles in the last 11 years. I'm Lena Bovey reporting live in Boyle Heights, KTLA 5 News.
Alina, thank you so much for that update. Kai has the latest on our forecast right now. Still getting some rain out there.
Yeah, and that's an interesting video there. It could be a tornado. We need to get the National Weather Service to do some investigating on that. It also could be what we call a microburst that could have occurred as well, and that's when cold air begins to descend out of a cell that's sort of breaking apart. So it could be both of those. So we'll have to continue to take a look at that issue and see what the National Weather Service decides, and hopefully they can make a decision on that over the next couple of days. Well, I wish you all a happy Friday afternoon, everybody. We're live for you up in the Mount Wilson area, and we're not seeing any snow here in Mount Wilson, but areas just a little bit higher are seeing some snow showers this afternoon. But look at the visibility, quite limited as well. We do have some good news, and that's the fact that the flood watch has now expired for Orange County, Riverside, and San Bernardino County. Still in place for LA, Ventura, Santa Barbara County through the 6 o'clock hour tonight. And as we make our way up into Canyon Country, Acton, portions of the southern sections of the Antelope Valley, well, this is a flood advisory through 6 o'clock tonight. That means they're seeing pockets of heavier rainfall, and the atmospheric river continues to throw that energy into Southern California. Let's take a closer look, shall we? Some of the hot spots that are picking up heavier rain are taking place now through El Monte, up into Arcadia. Here's Duarte along the 210, about to pick up some heavier rain, and all this energy is moving in a straight easterly direction. So if you live near Irwindale, also West Covina, and eventually out towards Glendora, San Dimas, along that 210 and also the 10, well, you can expect to see some more moderate to times heavier rain coming your way if those cells can stay together. Here's a look at the Simi Valley, Moore Park, much of the San Fernando Valley. There's the 405, the Ronald Reagan split headed up towards the Grapevine. Santa Clarita Valley, again, picking up some moderate rainfall right now, and that also continues as we make our way through Orange County, Coto de Caza, Mission Viejo, Rancho Santa Margarita, all the way into the northeast to Lake Elsinore, Paris area, Hemet, Temecula, those communities picking up some moderate rainfall. And here we go, those snow showers up in Big Bear. Then we'll make our way just to the south of the 38, and we're also seeing some snow showers there. The snow level down to about 5,500 feet this afternoon, after many days of the snow level being anywhere between 7 to 7,500 feet. Here's a look at what's going on wind-wise. Very calm conditions, winds beginning to relax for much of Southern California, but those winds are going to change to Santa Anna winds as we make our way into the beginning of next week. That's going to give us a little bit of a warm-up. And speaking of warm-up, well, we do have dry conditions in store for the weekend. We're going to take a break, and I'm happy to give you that forecast when I come back in just a couple of minutes.
A home in Ventura has been yellow tagged after a large chunk of their backyard washed away. The home was next to a canal that overflowed, causing the land next to it to collapse. This is near Maple Street and Redwood Avenue. Piles of debris can be seen in that canal. The hole left behind is just steps away from the back of the home. A fence next to the home also collapsed into the canal, as well as parts of the yard next door, but the extent of the damage there isn't clear. Public Works was called to the area to assess all of that damage. Also in Ventura, a large tree came crashing down, hitting an apartment complex and crushing a car off of Main Street. Video shows damage to the roof of the Mission Plaza townhomes and a car there completely buried under the tree, sustaining major damage.
All mountain operations at Mammoth Mountain have been suspended today following an avalanche. Mammoth officials say that around 7:30 this morning, members of the ski patrol were performing avalanche mitigation work when an avalanche occurred on Lincoln Mountain. 2 patrollers were caught in that slide and were immediately transported to the hospital. One of them sustained serious injuries and the other is being evaluated for possible broken bones. The ski area will remain closed for the remainder of the day.
The storms hit the mountain community of Wrightwood hard, the rain pounding the burn scar left behind by the devastating bridge fire last year. The saturated ground and lack of vegetation led to rocky debris flows that are upending many lives today.
Yeah, let's get right out to KTLADT 5's Angelique Cockaday, who's live for us from Wrightwood with how residents are reacting to the damage. Angelique?
Well, Lindsay and MB, I can tell you it's a steady rainfall. It's been raining the whole drive up here from Los Angeles. We're actually still en route to Wrightwood at this moment. If you take a look at what we're looking at, where we hit some major traffic, probably a lot of it due to the weather here. If you're taking a look at your screen, this is at 15 North, just south of 138. It's actually still about 20 miles-ish away from Wrightwood at this point. I can tell you also, I've seen about 3 to 4 cars just in the last hour or so to the side of the road, and lots of debris even as we approach Wrightwood. But we've had crews up there all day long, and I can tell you that recovery efforts are very much underway. San Bernardino County saying they are now actively going door to door assessing the damage. Now, so far, the good news, only 1 injury was reported, but the damage is extensive. Take a look. Some homes with piles of mud nearly touching the ceiling. Now, earlier today, about 2,500 homes in the area were without power after the storm knocked down power lines and caused streets and driveways to turn into rivers. After the bridge fire earlier this year, neighbors tell us today it's just too much. Take a listen.
Just given that we've had the fires in late September, October, and that took a toll on the town. But now, the day before Christmas, now we have all of this, and our house is okay for the most part, but it's sad to see there's a lot of people that have their lives taken away from them all on Christmas Eve.
Now, we also know there's a boil water advisory in the area. People can get bottled water from the Wrightwood Community Center. Like I said, we are still en route to the area, still about 20 miles-ish away from there. I also want to make a note that officials are telling us recovery is going to take not just days, not just weeks, but this is a long-term, month-long process ahead of this community here. For now, though, reporting in the news truck, Angelique Cockaday, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Angelique, thank you so much. You guys make sure to stay safe on those roads. Now to the flood damage in the foothills caused by the drenching storm. The cleanup is already underway for some businesses, even though the rain is far from over. Those businesses had finally reopened after months of fire repairs just last month.
Yeah. KTLA's Jennifer McGraw continues our storm coverage in Sierra Madre.
This is a community that's already dealing with so much, from the fires to now the rain and flooding. This business was not spared from the rain on Christmas Eve when they got the call water was pouring inside.
When I pulled up here, they were squeegeeing just gallons of water out of his place.
Debbie Collins owns the Miss Dragon printing copy shop a few doors down. Luckily, the water didn't get into her business, but she was there when it happened.
It was so weird. I'm standing inside and it sounds just like outside, inside the building. It's raining, the ceiling's coming down, the water. It was just amazing, that there was that much.
Neighboring businesses just reopening after being closed for months from the Eaton fire. In fact, multiple businesses reopened together in the strip mall that was spared.
Our heart goes out to everybody that's being affected by this because it doesn't stop,
Ben McGinty has been in business in the area for more than 30 years. This has been the most trying.
Luckily, the water dried up or soaked into the floor and has left the paint, but none of the art was damaged. So we're pretty fortunate that, this is all there is. But again, another thing. Is this year over yet? Is there anything going to happen between now and next week? Let's hope not.
And it looks like the leaks have been repaired, so hopefully they can get back to business soon. That's very latest for in Altadena. Jennifer McGraw, KTLA 5.